to the latest Scene Manager tutorial, and in this one I'm going to show you what are the new features in version 2.0. One of the coolest things in this release is the ability to customize the module with your own set of properties. This opens up many new possibilities which will let you take control and make decisions faster. To start using the custom properties, you just need to click on this settings icon. And in case for the Corona camera, I would like to apply a field of view and the zoom factor, for example. Once you press OK, you see that these properties are now added to the user interface. Let's press these fetch icons so we get the current value, and then we can start making adjustments. So you can also duplicate your scene, and for the other one, let's do something different. Now if you go back and forth, you see that the field of view and the zoom factor is changing. If you would like to give back the control to max, or you just want to deactivate a certain property, you can just press this reset button like this, and from now on the zoom factor won't be applied for this setup. You can also completely remove these properties by going back to the selector and just unticking the ones that you don't need, or you can just press reset and it will just reset the entire module. Now you can also add custom properties to your sun module. By clicking on the settings icon, you can select from these values. So let's check the intensity and the size. And for the first setup, I would like to have the size of 1, the default value, and for the other one, let's change this to 10, for example. Now if you click back and forth, my sun size is. We also made some adjustments to the environment module. So after you enable it, you have a few different options now. You can fetch the current environment, you can browse something from your scene, or you can create a new Hdri or sky. So right now I want to have a sky attached to my sun, so I'm gonna just select something from the scene because I already have this prepared. You just select the Corona sky and click add, and this will apply it to the correct slot. Okay, now let's see what other options do you have with the new environment module. So this time I would like to load in an Hdri. So let's browse something from the scene, and you will see that you have the file name, which is also a property that you can change. So you can select something from your library, and by clicking on the settings, you can still choose from a number of properties. So for the Corona bitmap, we have file name, which is already applied, but I also want to choose the horizontal rotation and maybe the output amount. Okay, cool. So let's duplicate this a couple of times, and let's fetch the values of these. And now you can start making adjustments, and you can have different rotation values for the same Corona bitmap, which is pretty nice. So we also included an Hdri quick browser that acts like any other module, and you can quickly access it in the main interface. Once you select a folder that you would like to use, then you can quickly change around your environment map by selecting any of these Hdris. So next, let me show you the improvements that we made for the dome module. Let's select our first dome light, and you will see that it will automatically fetch the texture, and then now I can apply my custom properties if I want to have adjustments to this. So in case of the dome, we are talking about two things. Once you have the texture, and you have the V-Ray dome itself. So for the texture, which is a V-Ray Hdri, I would like to gain control over the file name and maybe the overall multiplier of it. So that's one thing. And then I would like to have changed the multiplier of the dome, and we have a special property for the rotation. Let's try that out. And let's fetch the multiplier and change it to 1.5. And I would like to gain control over the rotation. So if I would start modifying this value, you will see that the dome is rotating. Now we also made some great improvements for the objects module. And let's select these objects. From now on, you will see that we have all of these other controls, which you can add or remove in the property selector. So the visibility part works the same as in previous versions. So if you would like to disable these, then you see the visibility is changing. But if you would like to use, for example, let's freeze the selected teapot, you can just fetch its current value and then apply the freeze to it. And for all of the other setups, the freeze will be disabled. Only for this one it will be enabled. There's also an extra property, which is the transform, which will let you have different position, rotation and scale values per setup. Which means that if I would select this guy, and you can fetch its current transformation values by clicking over here. And let's go to another setup. And if I would change the position, maybe scale it a little bit, and then you can be rotated like this. And click the update. And you will see that if now I would click back and forth, it will change its position. Now we also added the same properties to the layers module. So you can select any layer in your scene, this, and you see you have pretty much the same controls what you have in the objects, and you still have the selector where you can choose from these properties. Now another great new feature is the render settings custom module, which will let you control the most important render settings in one place. So you have also the property selector. So in case of Corona, by default you have path limit, noise level limit and time limit. And you can gain control by pressing the fetch icon, adjusting the value. And now for each of the setups you have different render settings. Let me show you some of the adjustments that we made to the render output modules. So first of all, we introduced the new date option, where you can actually select the formatting of the date now. If you want to create a folder in your naming, then from now on you just have to press this little folder icon and this will create or show you the folder sign. Another new thing is that now we have file name full, which is your fully qualified file name that you have currently. And the other one is file name filtered, which will chop down the version or the ending of your file. We also added some new bake setup options. So apart from the existing convert to 3ds Max patch render, now we are able to export to 3ds Max, VRSim file or Corona Sim file. So you just need to select which setup you would like to use, and then once you press export, it will save each of your setup to a different Max file. Another highly requested feature was the ability to preview setups without activating it. If you just want to have a quick change to a setup that you don't want to load, you just need to press Alt and click on it. So in case you see I have all the setup properties loaded in for this setup, but obviously nothing has changed to the current setup. So now I can make some adjustments like disabling the light or change around the properties. and maybe adjust the resolution, and you see it's clearly not doing anything to my scene, so it's not doing any harm. And that's it. If you want to get out of this preview mode, you can just press Alt, click again, and that's it. Okay, so that's it for this one. To check the complete list of features and changes, please visit our website, and thanks for watching.